How long have you been doing your podcast?
For a little over a year at the moment. And so when I first started it, I wanted to focus solely on solo female travelers and helping them take that initial leap by interviewing women who have also used travel as a way, solo travel specifically, as a way to change their lives. And as I finished that first season, I realized that there was like a really strong need for more resources so that those women could actually make that change and take that leap. Like you can only be inspired so much. And then your next step is like, okay, I'm inspired, but what do I do next? And so that's really what I'm focused on now is helping more with those actionable steps and resources.
That's so needed because that's a lot of what this podcast is all about.
Mm-hmm.
Not specifically focused on solo women, but inspiration is great. A lot of people want to do this, but okay, what are some actionable steps that you can take?
Mm-hmm.
Which will lead me to my next question. If somebody is considering this lifestyle and they really want it, and they think there's something more and they yearn for something more, but they're kind of stuck in that identity of 9 to 5 or whatever, what would you say to start that process, those actionable steps that they can take to kind of move in the direction of freedom?
Mm-hmm. So there's so many different actionable steps, but really figure out where are you right now? I think one of the first exercises that I did that my coach that I had at the time had me walk through was what are my values? So doing the values exercise and identifying like, okay, what do I actually value? And how do the different areas of my life track against my values? And what parts of my life are not aligned to the 5 things that guide me? So for me, freedom, definitely freedom, adventure, making an impact, community. Those were things that were really important to me and part of my value system. But when I looked at my career, none of those words would resonate in any areas of my career.
Right.
I had no freedom. I was lacking community. I didn't feel like I was making an impact, for example, right? So you're like, okay, well, if my career is not really aligned, how about my relationships? How about my friendships, my family, the city that I'm living in? When you start to dig in and you realize, oh, okay, like specifically these areas of my life are not in alignment. Now you know, you're aware, and awareness is that first step. Then you ask
Yeah.
yourself, okay, like if these are my values, what does a life look like that includes that? Maybe it's not digital nomading. Digital nomading is not for everyone. Maybe
No.
it's at least going on an extended vacation to give yourself that time to ask yourself those questions and then figure out, recalibrate, right? Not everyone also wants to be an entrepreneur, and that is okay. But you have to ask yourself those questions. So really it's, you either ask yourself those questions or you hire someone to be accountable to get you to actually ask yourself those questions and give yourself the time. I read a lot of books. I surrounded myself with people that also wanted different things because the people that you surround yourself around help you make it possible. So I started joining a lot of
Mhm.
Facebook groups, a lot of online communities of people who had similar thoughts and similar values and were maybe wanting a similar thing that I was wanting. And then I read a lot of podcasts and listened to a lot of audiobooks, or not read, listened to a lot of podcasts and audiobooks because what I really needed to do was silence my inner critic and silence the thoughts that were in my head that were telling me, no, it's okay. You have a good life. You should be grateful for the life that you have. Like all those things that you don't even know where those words come from. Like, oh, this is perfectly safe
Right.
and comfortable. Why should you want more? You should be grateful. Other people have it worse than you, right? I needed something to
Hmm.
silence those thoughts because those thoughts were not serving the person that I wanted to be. So then I started listening to authors who had the lives that I wanted to be, the ones who were thought leaders and speakers. And I started to kind of like wash myself a bit just so
Yeah.
that I could actually push myself to want more and dream bigger than what that version of myself in the past had. So I think that those are like some good first steps. It's like awareness and really start to train yourself out of your current thinking and start to really step into that next version of you.